Dan who? Dan double U. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews, as always. My name is Dan W. Welcome to episode 281 of the Dan Who weekly live stream, where we recap the week that was in Marvel Legend news. And considering the amount of Marvel news we have had for Legends this past month, I am surprised that we have managed to get to 282 episodes. We are literally 6 years in, and I feel like this is the most barren we have been for actual news in a while. But don't you worry, I've been digging the bottom of the barrel, and we've got some stuff to talk about today, which is relevant because it's based off today's pre-order, which is all X-Men 97 related. But as always, I am not on my own. I'm with Jay. He was locked out, but he's back in. It's Jay Toy Collection UK. Jay, how you doing?
Hello. Well, now I think you've jinxed me here with tonight's topic, as I seem to have been infected with some form of techno-organic virus because I have been thrown out of all my saved settings in Google Chrome. And do I know my passwords? Of course you don't, because I set them up years ago and told it to remember them.
Can you not go to settings and figure out? I'm a tech guy, so maybe I can provide some tech assistance after the stream. But are you good to talk toys all the same?
I think we'll be okay. We can see if we can live without Instagram. I'm into Amazon. I'm into YouTube. So there's some things we can still buy some toys.
Okay, you're good. I think you've got a Sentinel in the background for today's theme, especially, which I love to see. But yes, Jay, X-Men 97. You a fan?
Yes, I did. I did enjoy the show. I've just recently picked up some of the bargain Marvel Legends from the sale. There's some more somewhere around the house as I'm trying to rebuild the display that was upstairs. It will be behind me, and I've tried to nick some of Gerard's ideas. So I've taken apart my Necker Street scene. Yep. I'm going to use it for broken building pieces as a display behind me.
Okay, wow. I do want to just start off the stream by saying that the sort of way I'm doing today's stream, me and Rich have done plenty of streams where we've been talking about the leak lists for potential future waves. We've even put our own waves together. Today isn't really about looking forward because we're still not too sure what date X-Men 97 Season 2 comes out. No date is officially landed. They're just saying summer. We know we've got Daredevil happening right now, which I still haven't watched, so no spoilers, please. We've also got a date now for the Punisher special, which ends. It's the week after Daredevil, right? So X-Men 97 still doesn't have a date, but I'm assuming it'll be after Spider-Man, which will be after July. Maybe. I could be wrong. So instead of guessing what will be in Season 2, let's just pause for a minute and go, hang on, who's missing from Season 1 that we still need? Because there are some big gaps, I think, in regards to our X-Men 97 collection. So I thought, for the sake of conversation, let's obviously go through some of those big gaps. Beast. Sorry, I've got a beast cough. So there's obviously some big gaps, but there's also a few obscure or maybe different character choices or outfits that I think are worthy of conversation. So let's just take a moment to reflect Season 1, some of the missing characters, some of the missing uniforms, before we get the inevitable Wave 4 at this point, because the next wave would be Wave 4. We do know already we've got an X-Men 97 Apocalypse to look forward to at the end of the year, which is the last year's made to order, sort of same regard as the Sentinel. So that's what today's conversation about. I'm not saying we need these figures. I'm not saying they're a good idea. I'm not saying they're a bad idea. For the sake of conversation, we're going to go through some characters and some outfits. And because Jay was logged out of all the devices, he has no idea what I have pulled from the show. But you have seen the show, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine, Jay.
I have seen the show when it first aired, so we will see what I have recalled from the said memory from the time.
Yeah, so we're going to go through some stuff. But first, as always, let's go through the housekeeping real quick. As you know, Friday is here, working on a Thursday. It's very confusing, but one thing for sure is she will read out your super chat, anything over £4 or $4 via Streamlabs donation link and super chat. She will read it out. It goes towards contributing today's show and possibly unlocking the bonus show as well. But if you want to do that, hit that join button. Sorry, my throat is going not good. When I've been in a house on my own all day, not talking to anybody, you don't realise your throat's dodgy. Anyway, hit that join button, become a channel member, and then you don't have to worry if the after show gets unlocked or not. But if you can contribute, then 5 super chats, we will get the bonus show unlocked today, and we will be discussing xmen 97 with whoever joins us later on this evening. Let's go and say hello to some of the chat. A drink's a good idea, Jay. I'm gonna take a swig of my Koppelberg.
Yeah. And no the H2O sponsored with Peckham water there, the classic with of Only Fools and Horses for a very deep British reference.
I think I'm more likely to get sponsored by that than Koppelberg at this rate. Yeah. Let me scroll up real quick. Rich was in here nice and early. Shout out, Rich. He says, the original Jubilee, we need the most. Maybe Jubilee is on my list, all right? Maybe. For my love of Rich, maybe she is on the list. Money in the Emoji Matt! Oh, okay, he's definitely said a Simpsons reference, has he? Of course he has.
87 donated $4.99. As of this moment, Lionel Hutz no longer exists. Say hello to Miguel Sanchez.
I use the name Miguel Sanchez whenever someone asks, like, if I have to give a fake name or something like that. I swear I made an email address with, like, do you know, for spam email with Miguel Sanchez or something like that. Lionel Hutz throws his paperwork into the fire. I know that one, Emoji Matt. I know that one. Shout out, Emoji Matt, as always. On Friday.
Need a Lionel Hutz figure. That has reminded me. I don't have one of those in the world of Springfield. Assuming there is one.
No, there is. There's a World of Springfield, but there isn't yet for Jax. Because Jack's are slow as shit. Let me shout out some people in the chat. Quinn Comics was here. Off the Shelf was here as well. I am Gregory Trejo. Owen Avenger. We got Kevin Beatty. Simon, the Imagination Imperium. Jelly Figs. Damien Ristori. RJ says, wasn't Deluxe Beast 97 already on a leak list? Look, maybe it was. But until it is revealed to us, we just don't know. Well, we sort of know, but we don't know. Do you know what we don't know, Jay? Is it or not going to be on a retro card? We will discuss that in a moment because I may have bumped him to the top of the list. We've got Jamie in there as well. Chi collects all the way in Australia. It's already Friday for Chi. It's already Friday. He already has that Friday feeling. Kurt K's here as well. Probably just woken up from his nap. Your boy's got toys. Says, is it me or is Dan turned into a late night host? To be fair, the clocks were changed, so I wasn't that late today, to be fair. It's just, the clocks go back next week, so if you want, I'll be early next week. If you arrive at this time next week, then yeah, you're late, not me. Who else we got? Rush is here as well. He also confirmed for me that the times hadn't yet got... They go back Sunday, right? So we lose an hour Sunday into Monday.
Yes, we'll lose an hour on Sunday. Over Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Will I go to bed an hour earlier? Probably not. No, probably not. Emoji Matt once again.
At Emoji Matt 87 donated $4.99. But do you want to see my new chainsaw and hockey mask?
I like that as well. Bart jumps. Homer runs in his room and jumps in his bed. I like it. Is that a Treehouse Horror episode? No, I don't know if it is. Can't remember. Shout out Emoji Matt anyway for the Simpsons. Oh, I get that. Does anyone else get these Simpsons references, or is it? This is an inside joke between me and Emoji Matt. There's surely some of the Simpsons fans out there that appreciate these quotes. Anyway,
I can know some of the lines, but I can't put them all to the episodes. So that
I can picture it in my head. I can picture the scenes in my head. Yeah. Adam's in there as well. Shout out Adam, Cute Cool, Prophet, Virtual Dave, aka Andrew. 16 Mike says, "What's up, the Who crew?" Z-Man's there. Disavow, chat out Disavow, Cloud, Home Dude, the Geek Free PO says hello, let's talk some X-Men. Yes, absolutely, let's talk some X-Men. But before we get into our main topic, will you indulge me with some sort of pickups? Not quite pickups, but sort of. Just a bit of an update, if you will.
A sort of pickup?
Yeah, sort of pickup. Okay. Well, because it's stuff that I've probably already showed off on the channel, but it's sort of, I always like to tell people I want to be a curator of my own nostalgia and sort of preserve some of the pieces from my childhood that were special to me because they were nostalgic, or or items that I wished I would have had as a kid, but I never got my hands on. But now as an adult, I can buy them and preserve them and put them on a display. Oh, one more from Emoji Matt, thank you.
At Emoji Matt 87 donated $4.99. Grease me up, woman. Okie dokie.
That's the episode where Santa's little helper gets taken to school and he gets lost in the vents, and they do like an Aliens parody where he's coming up behind him. It's pretty funny. Shout out Emoji Matt.
You gotta use Willie's grease. There
yes.
you are.
Yeah. So as I say, I like to keep these pieces. So I've actually got some protective cases now, and they just changed the game. They turned these retro items into my eyes more like premium preserved collectibles. So first things first, I've got Beast. So this is the bigger scale Beast from Toy Biz, and if I throw it on the big screen, hopefully my lights don't. But now this is in protective casing. So the condition was pretty good, all things considered. This was like 30 years old. This is from 1994, so it's over 30 years old. I think we've got people in the chat that was born after 1994. Some people were born in this millennium. Crazy. But here he is. I never had this as a kid, but always would have absolutely wanted it if I knew it existed. And now I can have it to preserve in my Beast collection. All right, so now in nice casing, I feel like I can drop this and it would be okay. So yeah, it looks more premium now. So rather than a tatty old box, it's all preserved. So shout out Rich, who got me a really good one, and then shout out Damien, who got me an extra one that I could open. So I've got this to preserve, and then I've also got one that's opened. And then I also got this in protective casing now as well. So this is Beast and Spider-Man, the 2-pack. So as a kid, right, I had these two, which I also have preserved beautifully, right? So as a kid, I had these two, Spider-Man and Beast, right? I had no idea, right, that this 2-pack existed, because look at that, Walmart exclusive. Back when I was a kiddie, I didn't have the internet. I didn't know what Walmart was. I didn't know this thing even existed. So now my two favorite characters from my sort of childhood era in the same 2-pack. Again, another Beast as well from my Beast collection. Again, nicely preserved in some casing. Feels more premium now. Looks good. And then I also got Iron Man. So Iron Man with his plasma cannon, which Legends have obviously recreated now. It's on my wall over there. Look, there it is. So now there you go. I've got the Marvel Legend and now the OG. Again, this is from 1994 as well. So we were very young then, Jay. I think, how old was I? Like 5, 6? But it's crazy how...
You were 6 and I was tickling 7,
yeah,
I think.
It's crazy how strong the memories are for stuff like this. So yeah, I just wanted to show off some of them. I just want to preserve them, as I said, and sort of keep these so I can have my own sort of museum section of my display, if you will. I don't know, but I feel like I'm doing a service to the toys that I loved as a kid by preserving them in their purest form. So yeah, sort of pickups, but not really pickups, just some updates. Jay, you collect a lot of toys, obviously. You've got a lot of displays. You love building displays. Do you never get any nostalgia for like preserving them in that form, in the way that you brought them off the shelf?
It's one rabbit hole I've not let myself go down. I've watched you go down this slippery slope, but I've gone down so many others. I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that one. I get the inkling to have a nice wall of all the retro things there, but I've kind of just collected the modern version of them instead of going down that route.
Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. A representation of each one preserved in great... Considering these are all 30 years old, look how good they are. So nice.
We were debating whether to open some of the Beast stuff the other week, but I think clearly a nice carded collection is the way to go there with additional loose pieces.
Yeah, I think... Which
I knew you were going to do the whole time. This survey was pointless.
No, I'm not gonna keep every Beast I get on card. I want a Beast display. I just wanted a few of my favourite pieces as the backdrop to but I can open most of them, I think. So again, an update of that will come soon. But yeah, again, a lot of people don't realise I do the retro stuff because I never really do it on the main channel. It's usually Marvel Legends on the main channel, but I have a massive retro collection, not just Marvel. Like, I've got all the Kenner, Aliens, another toy line that I'm very nostalgic about, Bucky O'Hare, Ghostbusters from Kenner days. Like, I've got a lot of retro stuff that, again, in my head, I'm sort of trying to create this museum section of my future display room, but that's, again, in the future. But
I was thinking about the other day, the future and the times. I was like, I've got all these Marvel omnibuses to read, and I was like, am I even going to be able to read by the time I get that age? Am I going to make this age?
look, getting to retirement is a privilege, isn't it? So let's. I always say to people, right? So Amanda always wants to pay off our mortgage as quickly as possible, and I get the logic of it, but I'm like, we shouldn't have to suffer now financially to rush paying off our mortgage for a future that isn't promised. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I have no control over that. So like, remember to enjoy the now and like have a little bit of fun and indulge yourself now, because the future's not promised. As dark as that is, you know what I mean? Like, I've had people in my life pass away all over the place, and it's just like, let's just remember to enjoy now, people. Like, have fun now, and like, get into the future. Like, deal with that later. Like, just remember to enjoy the now time.
Yeah.
Don't just plan for a future that might not be. That's all. That sounds dark, doesn't it? I don't mean to be bleak and dark. I'm just trying to be a bit like.
I've just set you off down the same path I was thinking, but yeah, live your toy rooms now, people. You need to extend, because
enjoy.
We're not guaranteed.
Yeah, enjoy. So, tell you what I enjoyed, Jay. X-Men 97. I brought us back around. I got us back around. So today's Marvel Legend pre-order is Marvel 97, X-Men 97 centric, as it is Archangel. Do you remember that episode from the first season with Archangel in it? And it was like...
Well, I was going to question my own memory on this. I was like, he'll know. So, what's Archangel even in? X-Men 92, the 92 animated series, it was all over the thing.
Yeah.
A central character to me. But I don't even recall his scene, especially not with the gun. So, assuming this is a season 2, in disguise.
You will be forgiven. But I think again, your chat will always keep us honest if we're wrong. But I believe there's a scene where Morph swaps into Angel. So the only actual Angel appearance in season 1 was via Morph changing into him. So it was just a quick sort of blink and you miss it sort of moment. Yes, that guy right there. So technically, did you see this design of Angel on screen? I don't know. I think he might have even morphed into the blue version. Do you know the blue sort of X-Force with the halo sort of?
Yeah.
Well, not X-Force, X-Factor type vibe. Was it just chat?
So more Angel than Archangel.
Yeah, exactly. So the chat remind me again. Remind me. Was it this version of Angel that Morph changed into, or was it the blue uniform? For some reason, I'm seeing the blue uniform in my head. The chat will catch up and tell us in a moment. Let me just jump to Tanner's super chat. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Hope you're both well." Oh. Good evening to you. It was very formal. Good evening, Tanner. Good evening. Yes, good evening.
I was trying to plait the beard earlier after so I've started to watch Legends and Liquor with these.
You go for the Viking.
These heads. I think we could get there. I think we've definitely got enough length if I had some airtime.
Yeah, it was between you and Craig, but I think Craig's had a trim recently. Yeah, I think someone needs to go full Viking. Okay, Kenny says there was a morph scene. All right, so there was a morph scene. Off the shelf says Angel is seen flying in Genosha, but it was in a suit, I believe. Morph changed into Archangel when the Blackbird was destroyed. Okay, so maybe a slight cameo of this version, but you are absolutely not wrong in thinking he wasn't a main part of season 1. So does this Marvel Legend hint towards season 2? Because that gun is just a straight up reissue of Cable's gun. Literally, I'm looking at it right now. Cable's on my shelf. Let me grab him.
Here comes Cable.
It's the exact
same gun. He went through all ages in the show. He was baby Nathan. He was big Cable. He came back a couple of times with a big gun. So
they've just packed in Cable's gun. Now, is that just added value, like packed in because they could? Like, they've also got the folded wings in there as well. Let's go through the actual pictures because this went up for pre-order 2 days. So let me work my way backwards. So there's the full assortment, interchangeable set of hands, 2 heads, full wings, and the extracted. I do appreciate the more compact wings. That's something we have never gotten before in Marvel Legends, and I've seen a lot of people 3D print them, make custom versions, which always intrigued me. I never actually got some, so I'm glad to see Angel with some here, because hopefully I'll be able to utilize them on all of our Archangels. Any Marvel Legend that has the gold wings, like we recently got the X-Force version, we may be able to use them, which I appreciate. So there they are in full use. So yeah, I'm assuming you can plug them in to the other Archangels, but time will tell. We need to get it in hand first. But I do appreciate that. The wings do seem to be very similar to the Archangel we've currently got. Again, until we get it in hand, I'm not too sure. There may be, but it does feel like there's a bit of reuse there. There he is holding Cable's gun. So is he in a scene with Cable? Is there no? Is this just, Jay, a pack-in, or do you reckon this is an actual element or a wink and nod to something in season 2? I think it's just a pack-in, by the way.
It seems a very strange pack-in if he's not actually going to use it or be shot by it or something, because it's quite a hefty piece of plastic to reprint. So if there's no reason for it, then why even bother? But for the size of it,
it's easier to reprint and stick something in than pay someone to mold up something different and da da da. Do you know what I mean? Like,
true, but like the effort of actually putting it in, because yes, we do like our additional accessories, but if you just stuck the hands on the other side, I don't think it'd be noticed there was something missing from the packaging. So they went a little bit extra by trying to include something. So you'd think there's some concept art out there somewhere with this, surely.
I'm never mad at getting more stuff in a box, for the record, so that's not my complaint by any means. I just think it's not related to season 2, because otherwise we wouldn't see it. There's not even a trailer out yet. There's always embargoes in place. We're dealing with Disney people. There's no way Disney would just casually let a Marvel Legends accidentally reveal something. Like, there's so many eyes on this type of stuff. I just think it's additional. It's what they call additional value, where they just add the box, put more stuff in the box. Now, whether you see that as the value, it's all perceived. It's up to you, but it's just an extra something. Now, would I have preferred an extra head with another expression? Yeah, personally, rather than Cable's gun, because I'll probably never display Angel with Cable gun. But I will eat my words. If he's in season 2, Cable throws him his gun during a fight scene and he's shooting people from the sky, then fair game. Then absolutely fair game. But just my opinion. Just my opinion. It's probably just thrown in the box. But there we go. You in on this one, Jay? Then.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I've been bitten on angels in the past when it comes to an Archangel. So an embarrassing fact, the chat can take a guess. What was the most I ever spent on a single Marvel Legend? Because for a time it was the Archangel figure from the
X-Force box set,
sort of epic. Yeah, no, not the exclusive, just the version from like the 2013 odd Epic Heroes. Was it the actual packaging that was in? I can't remember. Was it like in the Rocket Raccoon kind of?
Yeah.
That one, because we didn't have an Archangel for years after that.
Yeah.
It was a long time, and I had to backtrack that figure because I wanted Archangel in the collection, and I paid it. It was £100.
Yeah.
I paid for a single Marvel Legend, and within a couple of years, when I finally bit the bullet, we did have the deluxe re-release for a lot cheaper. So I've now got a hodgepodge, because I think that one had the better wings, if I remember,
okay,
and all the better body, and I swapped the body, all the wings around. So I was like, do I need to keep buying Archangel another time? And I bought the last X-Force one for full price, and again that ended up in a sale for about £15, wasn't it, recently? So I'm like, I was going to stay away from Archangels unless they're cheap.
Eric with a super chat. Thank you very much, Eric.
At Eric Baker 84 donated $5. We need a classic set of the Invaders, and for the love of God, please already give me the 6 Forgotten Warriors.
Look, you're talking to your audience with the 6 Forgotten Warriors. Me and Jay are big fans of the Spider-Man animated series. That last season with the Forgotten Warriors, Captain America, the rings and all of that. Red Skull was involved. Look, give it us. Give me a pack.
All those,
yeah, I want them all. Yeah, Eric, thank you very much for the super chat. And yes, I agree. We absolutely do. Kenny was close but wrong. As Lorenz is saying, Price is Right style. I'm pretty good at knowing the aftermarket price of Legends back then, because obviously I was in the game quite heavily then, and I'd always try and second guess the aftermarket and buy extras of ones that I thought would sell for more and stuff like that. So It was all part of the hobby in the early days of Legends so I found loads at Home Bargains for a £5. So I got loads of red Deadpools and Punishers and White Dooms.
You had a stash of Deadpools,
yeah, all on the card from Home Bargains days. Imagine that now, finding figures for £5 at Home Bargains. What a world! What a world! Quinn says Archangel's wing that attached to his back is an all new sculpted part and not reuse from the X-Force Archangel. So that's good to know. Always appreciate when we get something new. Again, without having them in my hand, I wasn't too sure. But they obviously look similar. It's the same character, just in different forms. But the thing with X-Men 97, I always say, you can buy this and just put it into your comic display. This is very much different to MCU and comic, because MCU is representing live action. And live action doesn't really blend well into the comic's true form, where animated can blend quite well into comics' true form, as it's obviously a very similar art style. So I do think these X-Men 97 figures, even though they're based on the animation, they absolutely are fair game to be put into a comic display. They will not stick out like a sore thumb, like an otherwise highly textured live action figure would. So
you can blend these in the same way you can blend in the Gamerverse stuff from the Marvel versus Don't Say Capcom range last year, because it is very similar.
That's just a marketing
very similar
tactic.
aesthetics.
That's all that is, a marketing tactic. Stick Gamerverse on it and give us a Betsy, a Braddock, a Psylocke. You know, like it's.
Now, I say that, and I've done a completely separate. We'll be doing a completely separate display down here because I'm not going to mix it. But there was. Of course you are. Just got to find the figures, don't you? I put half of them now.
So hopefully, right, people, next week it's the first week of April. So we will be streaming on the 2nd of April. Thankfully, we don't land on the 1st because no one will believe anything I say. But I am hoping we are going to get some Marvel Legend news in April. Dan Yoon has been sort of teasing us there's going to be some good news in April. And usually when the pre-orders run out of things that have been revealed, then we know it's sort of, we're expecting something new soon. Let me just jump to Paternia real quick. So I think he put up a graphic that would help make my point. He puts up a lot of images though, but
well, while you look for that, yes. I think the Archangel aftermarket has changed people, because I was having a quick Google underneath, just trying to work out if the wings were the same, and I've gone on old eBay here, and the deluxe version of Archangel before is now listed for cheapest price I can see is £83, and someone's trying for 200 for a box version of the last version we had of Archangel. We're talking new, so
do not indulge.
Maybe you have some value in this one.
Do not indulge in that type of activity. That's crazy money. Shout out Paternia. He's put this together, which basically has all the Marvel Legend pre-orders from the last sort of set of reveals. We have now got everything up for pre-order. Obviously, there's a review on the channel, as far as I know, currently still the only one on YouTube of Colossus and Don't Say Kitty Pryde in front of Rich. But yeah, all of these. Shout out Justin Collects. Again, we obviously joke back and forth with each other, but I like him really. Don't tell him that though. He did put up a Grizzly review. Can you believe it? Justin did a non-live stream video, Jay, that wasn't Pokemon or Weeb related, and it's Marvel Legends.
I did start to watch it. I never finished it, Justin.
How did he get a Marvel Legend before me? What the hell's going on? What type of multiverse is Justin living in when Justin gets a Marvel Legend before me? I don't even have Grizzly yet. So he's probably in cahoots with Kenny. That's what it is. Kenny's got the hook up. But anyway, all of these are now up for pre-order. Obviously, last week we had that. Today or yesterday we had this. The only two reveals that have yet to go up for pre-order are Target exclusive. So obviously they're at Target's discretion. They're probably confined to some type of event. So in regards to Marvel Legends that have been revealed, all of them are up for pre-order. Nothing left. So reveals have to be happening soon. For the love of YouTube conversation, please give us something to talk about. YouTube live streams are struggling out there.
Rich. It's got to be Rich's fault. Rich has left. The reveals have stopped.
Yeah, it seems Rich left.
Clearly he was working further behind the scenes.
Yeah, we don't need to feed the stream with news anymore. Rich isn't here. So, for the love of God, give us some news. Hopefully early April we will get some news. That's the idea. Maybe a live stream. Shout out, is that Northern Nomad? The soccer. He says that bear costume dude is a soccer. Shout out Northern Nomad. Always appreciate seeing him pop up. We miss you on Legend of Liquor. We miss you. We miss you. Where have you been? Where have you been, Northern Mo? Get involved. Get involved.
He's always there calling me a sucker whenever I do. He's still got the love.
He calls everyone a sucker. Grizzly must have been the president from Ed Chinchilla. Oh, yeah, maybe he did get Grizzly from Ed Chinchilla. Now, Ed's definitely, if anyone's got the hookup from some sort of illegal off the back of the lorry activity, it's Ed Chinchilla. That's for damn sure.
That's need a cameo from Ed Chinchilla on here at some point. Actually, he's got to go break the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, okay, fair enough. The Onslaught is a Target exclusive, but Michael's just brought the point, to keep me honest here, that the mech isn't a Target exclusive and it's yet to go up for pre-order. So we could still be a week away from any actual news, because this could go up for pre-order next week. No date has been confirmed. And then, like, I don't know. So the only thing that's been revealed, to be fair, we haven't got any actual product shots for this yet, has we? I know they showed it off in person on a live stream, but in regards to actual press shots in a box, do you know, with all the accessories, that hasn't actually been shown to us yet, has it?
I don't think we've seen it. No, we've seen it in at cons and stuff. Wasn't it in New York?
Yeah, we've seen all the teasers.
But not.
Yeah, we only.
But no actual.
Yeah, so if I change my sort of caveat that with every Marvel Legend that's officially got solicited promo images has went up for pre-order. The only thing that hasn't is the mech. So yeah, we shall see. But hopefully some Marvel Legend news soon. But until then, we will keep the discussion strong with X-Men 97. And so far, this is everything we have. So this is a checklist put together by Mr. Stevie Evans. Shout out Mr. Stevie. You can get this on his website. And I love a checklist. It reminds me of being young and seeing the back of the box and ticking off what I needed. And so I always appreciate seeing that when it's legend-centric. We've got 3 waves, of X-Men on the retro card. And then we've got a couple of 2-packs. We've got 1 deluxe now with Archangel down there. And then we've got the roleplay helmet. We've got the made-to-order Sentinel and the made-to-order Apocalypse. Jay, how much of all of this do you have?
Right. Well, I don't do roleplay, Askiaris, so the helmet is off. No helmet in the collection. But I have a Sentinel behind me, and there's 1 boxed in the loft, but I have made room for that. So we've got a couple of Sentinels, not quite to your level of Sentinel, but I do have a couple.
They're just chilling down there. They're literally just chilling. I need to build a display for them, but I've got them ready.
So we got the Sentinel. The Apocalypse is on pre-order because that looks very nice. Again, remind me more of X-Men 92 animated series than 97 so far, but it's all merging into one nice display. So Wave 1 was a bit of another bugbear, not a story, because I decided at the very start of this journey I am not going to collect X-Men 97 because the comic, they're so similar to the comic looks that I've already got on the shelf. So what was the point?
And
so I skipped.
And the figures were released before the show, so no one had really got hyped to the show yet.
Yeah, so I thought I don't need them. I'll be getting the Lego X-Men Mansion at the time, so I've got that in the collection. So I thought, no, that's fine. Don't need those. And then that damn Sentinel was showing, wasn't it? And even though I said they'll merge nicely into comic display, I was like, oh, that's going to be a nice, clear, separate display I could do and do a proper animated setup the same way I've done for the Spider-Man animated series. So the backtracking began. Now, some of it, not a problem, but Wolverine, Rogue and Gambit proved one of the biggest problems in Marvel Legends because they, as soon as that show aired and was pretty good, they dried up super fast. And it was the one time I regretted my wait for the sale rule because those were going for at least £60-70 a pop on eBay. So that wasn't good. And I decided I'm not going to pay that. But luckily, somebody came to the rescue with a re-release because Hasbro did do a redo on those hard-to-get figures, which I think they did because they knew how popular the show was, and they thought we can make some more money here and at least help collectors out at the same time. So I do now have Wave 1. Still haven't actually opened Rogue and Gambit. They're still mint on cards, so they need to be opened for the display. Wave 2, I pretty much bought on time, so Wave 2 was fine. And Wave 3, I started to get dangerous again. I started to gamble and started to wait for the sale. And I've managed to achieve every figure so far in the sale, apart from Emma Frost. So she is the one I need to pick up, but I've picked up all the rest of the wave. And the 2-packs I have swiftly ignored.
Okay.
Because I was like, am I going to run out of space on the one shelf? I'm trying to keep it to one shelf. I've ignored the 2-packs. But if they come down, maybe I'll maybe I'll be a bit tempted, but we'll have to see what they start wearing in the second season, because we have to leave room for second season looks, which may be these, or are they going to change again?
Yeah, we will discuss. But what I love about Marvel Legends, and I tell this to people all the time, there are many collections to make within Marvel Legends. Whether you just buy the MCU, or you just buy the Gamerverse, or you just buy a Spider-Man characters, or you just buy like the Grey Avengers carded stuff. Do you know, like, you can create your own rules, and we've been talking about this all year. What rules have you got within your collecting? Well, X-Men 97 could be another rule. Like, I can see off the shelf in the chat, we're saying X-Men 97 was his jumping in point, and if it was your jumping in point, then this is the collection out there. It's obtainable right now. You can go and complete a collection up to this point. Obviously Apocalypse was the made to order, but based off the last two made to orders, which is the only thing we've got to take knowledge of, they're still in stock on Hasbro pool, so I'm sure you're going to have plenty of opportunity to get Apocalypse after the fact. So yeah, three 2-packs and 1 deluxe. And that last live stream, they really pissed me off, Jay, because they were setting up the deluxe reveal, and I was like, here we go, it's Beast, and then it was Angel. Like, what? But that gave me it was like, I'm like a Hawkeye in the Avengers. I'm like, don't give me hope that Beast could also be on a retro card, because in my mind, I want Beast on a retro card to accompany the rest of his team. So let me throw this image up. So this was
do you though? Because that's not a retro card. That is what you call the modern blister card.
You're right. I'm misusing the word retro. Yeah, I just want the X-Men all released on the same format. So if they're an X-Men 97 release, I want them released in the same packaging style. So yes, this isn't necessarily retro, but you still get my point. I still want them all streamlined in the same sort of setup. But this happened at the end of season 1. You've got Forge there looking at the wall, sort of giving us a few hints and ideas of characters and where they are. And again, he doesn't know yet, but we know more than he does, because some of these are like presumed dead, but we know that they've been flung across time. And in season 2, there's going to be multiple stories following different groups of characters. So at the end, it did give you I think I've got another image actually of the wall. It's a bit blurry though, but again, it's another look on how that's a great image. That's great. There we go. Thank you for loading. Another image of all the characters and whatnot. So that made me. It was this image that made me think, well, who's missing? Because it looks like a missing poster, doesn't it? Like, who's missing from from season 1? So again, today's conversation isn't about season 2 and forward. It's about, based on what we actually know for facts, based on the season that we have just seen, what are the gaps? Who do we actually need? So some of my picks are obvious, and then some of my picks are a little bit obscure, again, for the sake of conversation, all right? So first up, no messing around. Where the fuck is Beast, all right? Let's not mess around here. Beast is the only missing character of the core X-Men team. We have got bloody a baby Cable before we have got Beast. We've got Madeline Pryor, Bishop, like 2 versions of Magneto before we have got Beast. Like, come on, make it make sense to me, Hasbro. So we absolutely need a Beast. Now, my only fathomable reason that they have waited so long on Beast is because behind the scenes, he is taking the most time to retool, edit, update, whatever it needs to be. Why would you delay Beast so long? Like, Beast is a core X-Men character. He should be in the first 3 waves. Why is he not? Well, maybe you could argue they need an anchor in every wave they do. And if behind the scenes they're scheduling and planning out multiple waves, they have to spread out some of those core X-Men. So maybe they've put him to the side intentionally because they know Beast holds some weight. But I'm hoping it's because they are giving him the new treatment, where we've never really got a good animated Beast head. Mondo have just put up their recent one, which looked epic, and it came with like 5 different head sculpts. Hasbro are never going to do that, but at least give us 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, give us a couple of extra head sculpts, extra expressions, glasses on, glasses off. I don't necessarily need the lab coat for this Beast, because we've already got a lab coat Beast, and if I wanted to, I could probably nick it off that one. So for me, I'm more I just want the aesthetics to continue in the same format. So make it pinless, so it fits in with the rest, because so far every X-Men 97 is 90% pinless. There may be a few pins in there, again, without dissecting them all off the top of my head, I may be forgetting, but I think...
He's had to go 90%. He can't 100% commit to that statement there.
Because I know what Hasbro are like.
I'm looking like
Bishop's leg's probably got a pin or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't, without dissecting them all off the top of my head, I cannot 100% confirm, because Hasbro have put that doubt in my brain. But I will say I'm pretty confident 90% of the line is pinless. So Beast would have to be pinless, couple of heads, and that will fit on a retro card for me. But because that's what I want, Jay, like, and again, I'm a selfish man, that's what I want. I think we're going to get it in deluxe format. That's what the leak lists are saying. We have seen this on a leak list. So, Jay, firstly, am I right by saying Beast has to be, if not one of the most wanted or most needed characters as a representation of Season 1? And what format do you think we're going to inevitably get him in?
He clearly is needed, because you need to complete that team. But again, you go back to the team completion. Jubilee's in the wrong outfit, I would call it. She's in like the secondary outfit, so she's not still in. So even if you get Beast, I don't think the team is going to be fully completed in that sense, because almost I think this is a sneaky way of doing an X-Men animated 92 collection, and I kind of want, because the looks were the same to start both series, so I kind of want them in those original looks. But Beast is definitely needed. It's so needed, in fact, that I've moaned about this for many years, not to the level that you have, but that animated head is so different to the comic book heads that we've got. Like, we've got the Jim Lee comic book head, and you can't fudge it in.
He's been my guy for like 30 plus years of my existence on this planet. Let's get him in his true updated form. Let's give us the best that Marvel Legends has to offer. And let's be honest, like, I know Marvel Legends gets a lot of crap when they don't do good, but at their best, they can deliver. So please, deliver. Let's get a brand new Beast.
Yeah, I didn't think the Legends Beast was that bad. I thought it was actually all right.
It's solid.
It just needs the pinless updated treatment.
The natural sort of progression for Legends based off the previous Beast would be the pinless treatment and a couple of more animated heads. I don't think we've really mastered the animated head in that 6-inch scale yet. So for me, again, pinless treatment, animated head, glasses, non-glasses, maybe an angry expression, smart expression. You know, like, so yeah, I'm not asking for much. It will happen, guaranteed, will happen. We are going to get an X-Men 97 Beast this year. When it will happen, I don't know. What format it will happen in, I don't know. So, again, I have got a poll in the chat that people have been getting involved in, over 100 votes so far. The question is, for some reason my polls are now at the bottom of my page. I don't know if that's the same for anyone else, but it says, do we need more of who do we need more for our X-Men 97 collection? And I've put 3 options: Beast, Bastion, or more basketball uniforms. Some people have actually voted for more basketball uniforms. We will discuss as we continue this conversation, but had to start with Beast. There was no point waiting. That's the one we need. Moving on.
We need Beast. I would buy a Beast. Yes, right. Definitely buy a Beast. But Mondo are clearly, I think 16 Mike said, they're going to have it in our hands before we even
He's not wrong.
see this, because it's about 3 months away.
He is not wrong. I'm going to have a 1/12 scale, 1/6 scale Mondo Beast. 2 of them before I get my Marvel Legends Beast. Absolutely. You're not wrong. And I'm not mad at it either. Like, that Mondo Beast looks impressive. So that probably will be one of my favourite things in my whole collection if it lives up to it in hand.
It always gets safer last, though, because of 2 things. Because Mayfex have gone through the whole Jim Lee team nearly, but again, no sign of Beast. So I know you've got some of those in from your recent.
Yeah, and Jubilee's due at the end of the month as well, which is literally days away. So I'm probably going to get charged for Jubilee. So yeah, Mayfex. Where's our Mayfex Whisperer at? Where's Alexi? Alexi, surely Mayfex are doing Beast, right? Surely you know something we don't. Are Mayfex, have they confirmed they're doing Beast, or is it just like heavily rumoured? There's never been a grey vendor or a scale vendor or anything, right? Usually at those toy shows overseas, they show grey versions, don't they? But yeah, we need I'd absolutely get them on Mezco Beast as well. Do you know what? I'd get a fucking Mezco Beast, Mayfex Beast, any Beast. Yeah, who cares? Like, any Beast, give me them. I'm selfish. Right, moving on.
Give me a bit of flocking.
I can make a 2-hour show on Beast, trust me. Next up, okay, I told you. I told you.
So that's where I would have gone.
Yeah.
Bolivar Trask. That's my first thought.
So again, some of my choices are obvious. Some of them are a little bit more obscure. And again, this is a reflection of season 1. I've tried to pick out some of the characters that had more screen time in season 1 than Angel, let's say. Do you know what I mean? So Trask absolutely had more screen time than a character like Angel, who we already have now in Marvel Legends form. And I also put his sort of Sentinel variant version there as well, as you can see, because he turned into like a Sentinel Prime, didn't he? I think when Bastion infected him. So
Bastion's infected half the world by the end of that show. So he was one of the first ones we saw on screen.
Granted,
changed.
Like I will obviously put my hands up and say, not the most toyetic, right? Obviously not the most exciting. This would have been another interesting head to pack in with Morph. Do you know we got with Morph, we got Morph and
Guy Rick's head.
There he is, yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
So I reckon like a Trask head would have been great as well, because it's another character that you can just put on a suited body and sort of fudge it in the collection. But I guess because he is a scientist, you could give him more of his science garb. So granted, not the most exciting of action figure, because it just represents a man in a uniform. But I don't think any X-Men fan out there can dispute that Trask isn't a big deal in the lore of X-Men. And he was a big deal within the season, because obviously before Bastion was revealed, Trask was behind all the Sentinels and stuff, so it sort of led X-Men into that direction. So I think a Trask figure, but with the interchangeable head to make him a prime sort of drone, would have been a pretty good choice for the line. So again, not the most exciting, Jay, but like you just said, it would have made sense as a representation of season 1, right?
I think he's an important character, not just for that, just for the comic. We don't have a comic book version either. It's an easy one to do, because it's literally a guy in a women's lab coat suit, which they've already got sculpted. They've already done Bruce Banner. They need to change the legs probably, because I'm sure that Bruce Banner's not on the greatest legs and feet combination, but they've done a very similar, the top torso and things. So it's literally just it is just a head. So he said they could have done it with Morph as a head pack, but I think he deserves his own figure. He's been around since the 1960s, so he's a character. We'd have no Sentinels without him, so he's super important to X-Men lore over the history of everything. So I think and a nice easy one, and packing that additional head with the zombie-like head when he was the other version of the same Sentinel, I think would be an easy one to do, because they always got to fill these waves out. If they're going to be if somebody's paying for tooling for Beast, then something else has got to pay for that, and Trask might be your answer.
The toy politics behind the scenes, and again, we don't love it. Ideally, we'd love every Marvel Legend to be the best sculpted, articulated, full of accessories, but the reality is every wave has a budget, and they have to figure out who gets more of that budget. And I think Trask could have been maybe on the more cheaper side, like you said, a base body, new head, but a key character. I always say it's about world building, it's about character representation. Like, not everyone collects that way, I appreciate, but I do think it would have been good to give collectors the option to get a Trask in their display. So you can't go Trask without going into our next pick, which is, of course, Bastion. Again, I didn't want to be obvious Beast and Bastion 1 and 2, so I thought I'd throw a curveball in there, but we can't move far away, where we can't continue this conversation without talking about Bastion, who was the secret big bad of season 1. Now, I say secret because with all the promo and the trailer, they sort of made us feel that like Mr. Sinister might have been the big bad of season 1, and then it sort of switched on us, and Bastion was the big bad the whole time. And we got multiple versions of Bastion throughout the show as well. We've got his regular sort of Bastion form, which is front and center. Now that could easily be done on a regular retro card, like the rest of the X-Men have already. So, but if you really wanted to take it up a notch and give us Bastion in his sort of full out form, he does go through a bit of a transition, to be fair. He sort of goes a bit halfway, which I don't mind this one either, to be fair, but this is the deluxe version that you'd probably want to get, right? So there are multiple versions of Bastion to get, and I'm surprised we haven't got him already. I do think it's because they tried to keep him as the big bad a secret, so that way they never solicited or they never licensed out or agreed to any, or even pushed any companies to make a Bastion, because they wanted to keep that hush. So now it's out there. Surely Hasbro have asked the question, can we make a Bastion? And if so, Which one have they picked, Jay? Which one would you want in your collection? If you're going to get one Bastion, which one is your representation of Season 1?
I don't like the plain, boring, normal one. I know everybody's going to want the big, crazy winged version from the very end, but the other one looks more comic booky. So we do have the only version of Bastion we've got comes from the actual original HasLab Sentinel. We have him within that. So I think it'd be nice to give collectors another opportunity to get a more comic booky one they could fudge into their comic book collection. So I kind of would opt for the more basic, boring one, but I think if they are going to do it, they are going to go full on crazy end of the show big wings version. But I might go the other way.
Shane Shooter, thank you very much for the super chat.
Shooter 9550 donated $5.
Thank you.
Maybe not basketball uniforms, but definitely the baseball outfits they had in Uncanny X-Men. I think 325.
I'd have to pull up the comic reference to remember that. Uncanny X-Men baseball uniforms. Do you remember? Did they come to mind, Jay?
Yeah. Sort of the top of the head there. I'm not Googling that in the background at all. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no. Someone's going to have to send me an image of them. Baseball's not really a big thing in America. It's called rounders and girls play it. So, yeah, baseball's not my game. But the X-Men apparently love it. And so, yeah, Shane Shooter, I cannot share that enthusiasm. But I'm sure they would look interesting for sure.
He has there though unlocked the bonus show. You've hit the 5 super chat goal there. So
I always appreciate that. So yeah, we will be talking to channel members, of course, on the bonus show about maybe we'll wish list a wave, but based off Season 1. All right, maybe that's what we'll do because there are multiple options we're about to get to.
Beast has a very different look. Just from a quick Google of that though, Beast is the I don't know what the word is. We call it a backstop in rounders. He's a catcher.
I'm guessing
so he's got the full-on helmet and he's squatted down in his full squat with his full protective chest gear and his glove on.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I'm just guessing the catcher, but I know who you mean. The man behind behind the pitcher. No, the pitcher's the thrower. The pitcher's the guy who throws the ball, and you've got the guy that hits the bat. I don't fucking play baseball. I don't care. Shane Shooter says a Bastion 3-pack. That would do the trick, wouldn't it? And like an evolution. That would be interesting, though. An evolution of Bastion 3-pack would be interesting. I think people would appreciate that, right?
That's an interesting concept for any. I don't know if Bastion would be a popular enough character among the general collecting audience to do that for a 3-pack, but you could do it with Wolverine. That would be an interesting one to do it with. We have a lot of Wolverines, but he's got plenty of different looks they could do, and we might get that proper feral Wolverine finally if we did an evolution 3-pack, or have the adamantium ripped out, which might be on your list, might not be on your list.
Maybe. So question before we move on from Bastion, all right, quick question to anyone playing along in the chat. What version of Bastion would you want? Again, you can only speak for yourself. Again, don't try and pander to the audience. What do you want? Selfishly, what do you want in your display? Jay said there of his chest, he wants the boring old Bastion, but in his head, that's his mind's eye of Bastion. It makes complete sense to me. That Bastion had more screen time than that Bastion did. Like, that makes complete sense to me. If you're going to have one representation of Bastion on the shelf, then I'm not going to dispute anybody who wants the regular, boring version. More toyetic, though, I grant you these versions. So what version of Bastion would you want in your display? I'm not challenging Jay at all. I would be happy to take both versions, any version. I just think the character in his animated form needs some representation on the shelf. See, Kevin's with you. Kevin says the normal version. Kevin Beatty says normal version. Off the shelf wants the wings, though. Or maybe he's hungry and wants wings and was just telling us. I don't know. Scotty says original is what was needed the most. Final boss version of Bastion is what Andrew wants. Mikey Moonboots also wants the final boss version. Alexi wants the final boss version.
The final boss reference, that's it.
Yeah, the boss fight Bastion, yeah, I like that. Ernest says, I think I want the middle evolution one. I quite like the middle one as well. Like, I like, is there a way where we could get the regular version with like interchangeable limbs and a head? I know like he's got more elements on his chest, but maybe just interchangeable arms or something?
You've shown that Toy Biz Iron Man earlier with the plug-on armor on top. Yeah. So we need to go old school here and have the armor you can actually insert on.
Yeah.
A full exosuit version.
Home Dude says he personally doesn't care, and he's got in the Thanoscopter and he's flew away. So let's fly away from the Bastion conversation and go on to the next pick. Now, the next pick, Jay, is another easy one, all right? Another, like, obvious one. So out of all of the X-Men, I'm talking core X-Men in the intro of the show, who's the one character, apart from Beast, that we haven't actually got in X-Men 97 yet?
Professor X himself.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So we do have a
Oh, you've
Marvel
gone
Legends.
that version.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Well, that is the conversation we're about to have, because this is, again, if we're talking mind's eye of Bastion, this is everyone's mind's eye of Professor X. But granted, within season 1 of X-Men, this may have not been the version that got the most screen time, because he goes up to the Shi'ar Empire, he has some different suits, but I think in its core, this is everyone's mind's eye of Professor X. And we do have an X-Men hover chair in the Marvel Legends line, but it's not as streamlined as the animated style. The animated style has always had its sort of unique presence. The MCU even took inspiration from the animated show in the live action, in the Multiverse of Madness appearance of the hover chair, but we haven't got it in figure form. The one we've got in toy form is more domey, more bubbly, if you know what I mean, where this is very much straight lines. So
Straight edges, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is absolutely needed as well. Like, maybe not as much as Beast, but he's up there. Like, it's Professor X. And like always, if we're building an X-Men 97 display, yes, we could fudge in the other Professor X from the Marvel Legends line, but we want it to be a true, accurate representation to the source material. And for the hover chair, it's massively different. So this could be a deluxe. It could be packed in a box, or I don't care what format they give us Professor X in. Granted, harder for a retro card, or card back, sorry, not retro, but card back. Back in the Toy Biz days, we got Professor X and a hover chair on the card back, though. The bubble was so heavy, good luck finding one that isn't peeling off the back of the card, but it's there. So, Jay, is this the version of Professor X we want, or you want, or would you want one of his other versions, which I'll just show you. You got the Warlord version.
The Warlord, yeah.
So they went for the gold and purple, which again is still comic accurate, but it's from, I think, the front cover of X-Men 275, which the Legend version went for the one that was inside the book, which was the grey and black. But the animated show went for the cover, which was the purple and gold. And there's a Shi'ar pilot version as well. So that one's not as memorable for me, but would be interesting.
No, that's not.
Like, that has like potential army builder vibes. Do you know, you get a Professor X head, market it as Professor X, but then give us like a Shi'ar pilot helmet, maybe, or something. I don't know.
We've got 2 Evolution 3-packs. I think we've created a whole new line this evening with the help of the chat there to create a whole new line of Marvel Legends. So if they go in X-Men 97, surely it has to be the Warlord version in the gold. It's a nice, easy enough repaint of the one we've just had on the retro card. But again, that was in the sale quite a lot, so maybe not the most popular version. But
maybe that's the reason Hasbro gave us the silver and black version. Maybe because they were going to do this.
They gave us the 275 inside version, not the cover, as you say, not the cover version. So there's still people wanting to complete the cover look. So yeah, I think they might do this. I could see this one actually coming to fruition as the Warlord version. As for the other version with the hover chair, then it's needed for more of a 92 collection, but what's he going to be wearing in the current season? Is he going to go back to his normal look? We assume he is, so it may be very useful for season 2. That hover chair, I'm going to take a guess, is expensive on the aftermarket. I haven't looked, but
they've reissued
I'm
it
assuming
that
went up.
Yeah, they've reissued
they have done a reissue of that. Okay, maybe it's not too bad.
And down, it goes up and down in value on the aftermarket, yeah.
You could use that suit because Gyrick always wears a green suit as well. So another green suit would be helpful. Norman Osborn would be very helpful for another green suit as well. We've only already had the one green suit with the original version of Charles.
Don't they go prison to meet Gyrick as well? So we could get like a jumpsuit version of Gyrick. That would have been interesting.
You could different variations they could do, but my concern with this is you mentioned Mondo earlier. If Mondo get to this, which I think they might do, although the bill is going to be astronomical because their big things like their Battle Cat from He-Man was like $500. So how much is a hover chair in Mondo going to cost?
Will they do it? Will Marvel Legends get to Professor X? I genuinely don't know for sure. I'm trying to skim through some pictures here to try and find a picture of Gyrick in there, because now you threw me on a tangent. What about this version of Professor X? This one just jumped out at me. So instead of the hover chair, Just have him in his old man in his chair.
It is an old man in the chair, like the original sort of comic he looked.
This would be people would be pissed if they did a Professor
soft goods
X.
blanket, bendy wire. I'm cooking it up now. You can do some lovely posing.
People would be pissed if the Professor X we got wasn't the hover chair version. Like, don't give us this. Give us the hover chair version. Can I find that picture of Gyrick? I'm pretty confident he was in a jumpsuit at some point. Because ain't there an old Lex Luthor action figure that you could put? Yeah, this is it. Oh, this is it. So when there an old Lex Luthor, when Mattel used to have the license before, there's like a Lex Luthor jumpsuit.
Jesse Eisenberg, whatever his name is, it was the Batman versus Superman Lex Luthor. There is I used to have that in my original Mattel days. That long.
I've seen people have it for Cletus Cassidy in the Legends line.
Yes.
So I wish I got one, and I would have turned it into Gyrick because we've got that head. So yeah, if you've got that old Mattel figure of Lex Luthor from the movie, from the one of the Batman movies, well, not Batman, was it? It was what was it?
Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman. Yeah. Anyway, I went off on a Gyrick tangent there, but yeah, back to Professor X. I need to close some of these tabs. I've got so many pictures of evolutions.
There you go. It's a custom for Kurt there. He just needs a blanket like that to match his sleeping cap.
Yeah, shout out Kurt K. He thought that blanket looked comfortable. Right, Professor X is obvious, all right? So let's move away from Professor X. Another one, which again, if you're completing characters in X-Men 97 from season 1, Beast, Professor X are needed to complete the core X-Men team, all right? They're needed. And then for big bads, Bastion for sure, and then maybe Trask as a supporting character. So if we continue down that route of supporting characters, how about a Val Cooper? Again, not the most exciting, I give you that. Not saying it's a good idea, not saying it's a bad idea, but for the sake of conversation, again, she probably had more screen time than Angel did, who's this week's Marvel Legend pre-order. Do you know what I mean? So, and she'd be a unique character. Like, do we have Val in the Marvel Legends line at all? We don't, do we?
It's gonna drop my Rich M emojis there, because I know Rich has, on previous streams many moons ago, I'm sure, has been campaigning for a Val Cooper in the line.
So Marvel Legends wise, it would be easy to do, wouldn't it? Like, it should be Kate. It should be, what is it? Peggy Carter, tight pencil skirt, can hardly articulate.
She's
the
never
legs.
Going to stand up. Yeah. She's not going to sell for more than £5 when she comes to the bargain bin or the Ross. So if they want to lose money, I think she is the way to go. But she would be, again, for a deep collector. She's important to the show. There, she frees Magneto at the end, if I remember, if it actually is her.
Doesn't she get with Beast, or am I getting her confused with someone else?
I don't recall her getting with Beast.
No,
but
maybe I'm getting her confused with someone else. I think they're like a journalist or something. I forget. But back to what you said about using some of these characters like Trask, who we don't have in our actual Marvel Legends collection. If you got an X-Men 97 Val, you could put her in your just regular display as a Val Cooper, and it would work fine. And she's a big part of other X-Men stories. Kevin Beattie's proven my point there with X Factor. Like, so an X Factor Val Cooper would be great.
For X Factor Val Cooper.
They probably don't want her in this outfit for the X Factor version of Val Cooper. But I just thought, oh, Trish, there you go, Trish. Yeah, I know, I was getting it mixed up. Trish is the journalist, isn't it? That Beast sort of gets with, not Val Cooper. So yeah, just another not obscure, but another character that, again, you wouldn't come to your forefront for when it comes to action figures, but it would be a unique character from the show that I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be mad at it. Again, I wouldn't be massively excited, but I wouldn't be mad either. I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm getting a Val Cooper. That's probably where that one would land.
I'm seeing those legs and that skirt, and imagining
it's Peggy Carter all day, yeah.
Oh, the Gwen Stacy and things we've got and everything. Peggy Carter don't stand up.
Yeah, it's Peggy Carter.
Who else doesn't stand up? Yeah,
because the House of X Jean Grey was similar, but then the 2-pack version that we got in X-Men 97, they lifted her skirt up a little bit.
It's Moira McTaggart. I'm thinking of. She won't stand up. She will not. She's been binned off the shelf because she was doom headed and falling over.
RJ says she's actually Mystique. Well, maybe you could make this more toyetic. Maybe you could make this more toyetic and put some interchangeable pieces to make it Mystique. Interchangeable head as a minimum. But yeah, an interesting one. Next up, Forge. again, Forge is another X-Men character who's still there at the end of the show. Obviously, when after his sort of mini arc with Storm, he's now part of the team and he's now wearing his uniform and he's there at the end. Here's the one that's literally looking at that board. At all the X-Men trying to figure it out. So he should still be a key part of season 2, but he was definitely there as a key part of season 1, and we never got him in figure form. And let's be honest, it's a pretty easy Marvel legend to do. It's basically the jumpsuit body with a robot leg sticking through, and yeah, maybe a few blemishes with his straps and boots and whatnot, but very doable in the Legends line. We got the last time we got him was the X Factor version.
Lucius Leftfoot donated $5.
Thank you, Lucius.
Shard had a blink and you miss it cameo last season in episode 3. She deserves a ML figure. I hope we see more of her next season.
Thank you, Lucius Leftfoot. He's not wrong. Shard had a blink and you miss it cameo in episode 3. I think a few people are going to be mad because I didn't include a lot of the cameo figures. I tried to pick characters that actually were like in the show, if you know what I mean.
You're saying there's no Doctor Doom on this list? Zemo, there's no Spider-Man. This is terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. There's no. I tried to be real to the show and think who was a core part of season 1 that we haven't got in figure form. So, like, I know I'm not just going to tell you now. Exodus is not on this list. Do I think we need a Marvel Legends Exodus? Absolutely. He's at the top of my sort of X-Men pile, but he was only in the background dancing in one of these X-Men 97 episodes. So he's not like a key part of X-Men 97 that I think's missing. He's a missing piece of our wider Marvel Legends collection, I give you, but not of X-Men 97. Forge was more important to season 1 of X-Men 97 than Exodus was. So again, not saying, again, each to their own, but Forge...
That's where Shard comes in, because we've never had a Shard in Marvel Legends. How
Same
have we
with
never
Exodus.
had it in Marvel Legends?
Shard and Exodus are 2 cameo characters that were in the background, never had a line, never spoke a word in the show, but we need in the Marvel Legends line. So what characters we need in the Marvel Legends line, in my head, is a different conversation to what characters from season 1 are missing. Because Forge was a part of season 1 that we didn't get in figure form. So granted, not the most exciting of character, because we already have multiple Forges in our Legends collection, but not in X-Men 97. Does that make sense? Does it make sense where I'm going with this list?
So you've gone for the ones that are more significant to the show rather than the joys of a fun cameo.
Yes.
But
that's the good word that I wasn't finding in my vocabulary. Yes. What character was significant to represent season 1 properly? That's sort of the more finite thing I was trying to say. So you'd think Forge is amongst that, right?
Yeah, Forge needs to be there because it's him and Bishop left at the end, isn't it? I think so. We've got the Bishop. We need Forge as well to go with him.
Well, do you remember that episode of Forge? I'm trying to think who's next up on my list here. Let me close this before. Do you remember the episode with Forge in it?
The one with the big owl.
Do you remember the big owl's name?
No.
Owly McHooterson.
Big owl. Sorry?
Owly McHooterson.
Okay, I'm assuming there is some joke here I'm missing.
No, I just made it up on the spot. I just thought you'd go with me. The adversary. But Owly McHooterson is a better name. Now, again, Forge is...
So you went the Boaty McBoatface first. I'm getting it now, but without the McHooterson. See, very slow on the uptake this evening.
So obviously Forge is a much easier Marvel legend, but the adversary would be a pretty interesting action figure, would it not? Granted, we'd all have to be brand new, probably never going to happen, but for that one episode... He's a big bad. He gets in Storm's head and Storm reignites her powers again. Would make for an interesting Marvel legend, would it not?
It's an interesting design. That episode wasn't the 2 episodes I wasn't overly fussed with, but that episode and the Mojo episode, those 2 didn't do an awful lot to me. So it wasn't
they're very contained, ain't they? They're very like mini stories within the wider arc.
Yeah, little side quest almost there, just to Storm can get her powers back and everything. But it is a very interesting character design. It's just reminding me of Man-Bat from Batman for some reason in owl form. It's what it's really looking like.
Has that vibe. Yeah, it has that vibe for sure. Quinn says, adversary make a good Build-A-Figure. What's a Build-A-Figure? Do Marvel Legends do Build-A-Figures anymore? What's a Build-A-Figure?
It's we are nearly 4 months into the year, and I don't recall seeing
No
them.
Build-A-Figures.
So, yeah.
And so far, within the X-Men line anyway, no Build-A-Figures. So, remember when Legends, back in the day, right? They never actually did it, right? But they were going to do a Build-A-Figure Stan Lee within 2-packs. So they've never actually done
Yes, it was
a
leaked,
Build-A-Figure.
wasn't it? It was on the back of the packaging of the
Black Panther.
it was one of the Black
wave.
Panther stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
But it all changed, and behind the scenes, it never happened. There was issues with the Stan Lee stuff at the time. But like, if they were going to do, like, if those 2-packs down here, right? See those 2-packs? If they had a Build-A-Figure piece for a different character, they would have made those 2-packs more desirable than original. Do you know what I mean? Like, so a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, they'd have me more interested. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they should bring that concept to existence and put the Build-A-Figure in these. Maybe that would piss people off because then the Build-A-Figure pieces that they want are even more expensive because they're attached to a 2-pack. So maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know, but the Adversary would make an interesting action figure. That's for sure if done correctly. Is it needed? Is it a needed piece to season 1? Not really, I don't think. I think you can live without him in your collection, but it would be a nice tribute to that story arc, because the story arc is taken straight from the comics as well. So again, this is another character you could put within a comics rogues gallery for your X-Men. Again, interesting. Again, thought it would be worth mentioning. But yeah, Owlie Mahooterson, aka the Adversary, probably will not be a Marvel legend. I'm pretty confident of that. But yeah, Hooter. Has anyone got a better name for him than the Adversary? Has anyone else got Hooter?
We've got Hooterson there from Home Dude.
From Home Dude, yeah. Any other names before we move on? Chi-Chi says, Dwight was saying that the next Build-A-Figure would finish a team. I reckon it will be Harry Leland.
Leland, so to complete the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, let me get a picture.
I can think of words.
It's the bigger guy from the Hellfire Club, isn't it, as well? Could be. That's an actual. I've never heard anyone say that. Just for reference, that's who Chi-Chi's on about from the Hellfire Club. We did get the Hellfire Club box set, but we never got this guy. So interesting. Good guess, Chi-Chi. Okay, we've got some other names. The Dwala? Yeah, is that what Quinn's saying? The Dwala? Cool says Dan Hooter.cr.
That's what I've been trying to read. I was like, what does that say?
Yeah, I can't. You're talking to dyslexic Dan over here. I can't read that either. Hooteri.cr. I can't. Yeah. Dio? Yeah, maybe I should be reading out names that are just gibberish. It's not going to bode well for me. Okay, let's move on from the Adversary. Next up, how about a bad guy that we can actually pronounce and we know who it is?
Mr. Sinister, not that weird version from the end when he's all freaks me out.
We want the sort of decrepit. He's like a. Do you know when you like a prune? It's like. It's just all
he's
the
like
moisture.
a shriveled old dick.
Shriveled. Imagine this was a figure, though. Imagine if this was an actual Marvel Legend. Would you buy shriveled Mr. Sinister in Marvel Legend form?
No, I don't think I could look at it. So I'm gonna have to pass. I don't know. I think I could cope with it on the shelf.
I reckon the best way to do this would give us a new Mr. Sinister, who's a character worthy of an update. The last Sinister we got was in the VHS 2-packs. He's right here next to me, actually. I'm going to
I'll still use that one in there, but he's got the cell shading.
Yeah, so he's got the cell shading. So it's again, the cell shading's not crazily bad. It's sort of, because it's dark, it sort of works against the thing.
Yeah.
But it's like pinned body. They didn't execute this terribly considering how awkward it is for figure form, but I definitely think articulation wise they could give him a better body, get rid of the crunch at the chest and give him the double ball joint situation. They can give him butterflies as well, obviously make him pinless. There's definitely ways in the modern tech of Marvel Legends you can upgrade Sinister in regards to aesthetics and articulation, that's for sure. So a new Mr. Sinister in the animated sort of X-Men 97 aesthetic, upgraded, and then as a pack-in, just as a little nod to the episode, just give it that head. I know it wouldn't make
Shriveled
sense.
head.
Yeah, I know it wouldn't make sense on the bigger body.
Massive fan of shriveled head. Dan Who, get that in the chat, everybody.
But yeah, would you go for it if they upgraded Sinister? So obviously we already have this version, but if they upgraded Sinister, utilizing the best of Marvel Legends right now, would you go in for another one?
I do like Sinister. I've always liked his design since I was a kid watching that show. I bought the Mondo one. It's somewhere in a box. I haven't got around to opening the thing yet, as like I am, because I'm slow with everything. But they did make him skinnier in X-Men '97. He's a much more slender looking, leaner. That's a good word. Version of Sinister. So we could do with an upgrade, because that one is pretty much just a repaint of the more bulky comic version that we had previously. So I've always been a fan of his design, even from the Toy Biz figure days of having the Marvel Legends Toy Biz figure for many years. He was definitely a front row character to me on the shelf, so I would like him. I'm not sure I'd be keen on the shriveled head though. Hashtag shriveled head in the comments.
Sinister's another one of those characters where even if you're not interested in building an X-Men '97 exclusive display, if they upgraded Sinister, his comic design is basically the exact same thing. You could upgrade your comic display as well, and the little shriveled head would just be a nice little tribute to this scene in the show. Because again, he was meant to be the big bad. We all assumed he would be the big bad of season 1, and then by the end of the show, he's all shriveled up. So that would be an interesting 2-pack for sure. Off the Shelf says they can put Shriveled Sinister in a 2-pack with Morph in his second costume. Wow, maybe I'll get to that a little bit later. But Sinister and his shriveled head would be interesting. Again, another big bad for the X-Men gallery. Next up, now talking about those variant costumes, let's just do that for a moment. Let's just take a little side quest to some of those variant costumes. Now, we did get Sunspot in Wave 3 of this X-Men lineup, but he was in his uniform that we're seeing the least in the show, because leading up to that uniform, this is how we seen Sunspot. In all of the promotional material, he was in his civilian suit because he was sort of hiding the fact he was sort of ashamed of his power set for a while, and then we got his true form as well eventually. So in my head, if we were going to get a Marvel Legend, one of these versions would have been first, but instead they skipped these and went straight to his full X-Men uniform look to very much tribute New Mutants, of course. But I still think these are worthy of action figure form as well. Jay, would you have any interest in these? If so, which one over the other? For me, I think the dark powered up version would be, again, if they could execute it right. I don't know how they could execute it and please the majority of people in figure form, but if they found a way to execute the powered up version, that'd be interesting to see. More exciting or more interesting than civilian version of Sunspot.
It would make an interesting action figure. I think the powered up version. I was very surprised they went for the version they went for in the figure. I thought it would definitely been the civilian outfit, because we'd seen that, as you say, all over the marketing, and he was pretty much wearing that for most of the show. So him and Jubilee were the weird ones in terms of figures. We got ones I didn't think we really would have gotten. So, and again, they were together in the show, so a bit of a weird choice there. So I would take the more civilian look, because that is the look we saw more within the show. But I'm very freaked out by 1/6 Mike comment, and I've just looked, because the deluxe version of Mondo Mr. Sinister does come with shriveled head. So apparently I have a shriveled head in this house and didn't even realise it. Yeah, I do hide, because I bought the deluxe version. I'm just looking at it now going, oh, for God's sake, I do actually have a 1/6 scale shriveled head.
Hang on, I need
so
to
thanks
see.
for that 1/6, Mike.
I guess it sort of does. It's a bit of a skinnier head. Hang on, I need to show people now, because people are going to be curious of the context. I'm trying to find a good image of it. Be on the Mondo site, won't it?
It should be. Yeah, it should be on there. Just looking at an eBay listing currently.
There we go. So is that the shriveled head up there?
Yeah, there's a promotional photo. If you flick through the photos, you'll see when he's holding his head like.
Oh, there it is. So there you go. Yeah, that is. So yeah, Jay, you've already got the shriveled head.
I've already got a shriveled head. Oh dear. Well, we've learned something tonight, haven't we?
The Mondo figures are so good. Imagine these were 1/12 scale, people. with all those accessories as well. So good, so good.
So you're enabling it. You're enabling yourself now.
I know. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Right. Let me go back to those images real quick. So let me ask the chat here. If we were going to get another version of Sunspot, what would you prefer for your collection? Civilian or powered up? Civilian or powered up? Let me know in the chat, and I'll read a couple out before we move on. Bring Toys to Work has also got that Mr. Sinister, and he's definitely going to display it with the shriveled head. He didn't write that, but I can just assume that's what Michael's going to do. Yeah.
Michael's well in for that there. Justin's arrived, everybody. I
was actually saying nice things about Justin earlier, and I was plugging his Grizzly review, and he wasn't even here to see it. Wasn't even here to see it. You're going to have to rewind and watch from the start, Justin, but I was saying nice things about you. Agent Z-Man says powered up, Jamie powered up, Ernie powered up, Off the Shelf powered up, Justin powered up, Damien powered up, David Mitchell powered up, Cute Cool powered up, A1 powered up, Kurt powered up. Jay, you're the only person who wants the civilian version.
It's like a rap here that's going on there. Just me then with the boring civilian one.
No, not one other person in our audience today wants a civilian version.
He was powered up for what, 20 seconds or something in the show. There was a nice, boring civilian look.
Quinn
that's
powered
what he looked
up.
like in the show.
Andrew powered up. Michael says he wants both, though. Yeah, so he wants both. So talking to those variant costumes, I couldn't do a show like this without mentioning Jubilee. Jay's already mentioned it. Rich has already, literally the first comment in today's video was Rich mentioning this. So obviously I had to bring it up. So the version of Jubilee we have is, I'm not trying to add a comment, is this version, which is the second outfit she wears in the show, based off her sort of vampire era in the comics, which isn't that popular according to Rich. Again, I've not read the vampire era of Jubilee, so I just trust Rich here when I say the vampire era of Jubilee is not good. We had already had that in Marvel Legends form as well via Build-A-Figure, a Toys R Us exclusive four-figure Build-A-Figure. You know, back when Build-A-Figures were four. I think it was. Is that the only ever four-figure Build-A-Figure? It is, isn't it?
Like that I could think of, yes, because it had a Magneto in there I wanted for many a year, but luckily they did redo a better version.
Strife never came.
Oh, the Strife went for crazy money again, talking about old Marvel Legends and their prices. So
the Hasbro gave us this version when the version we all wanted was this version. We all wanted the regular Jim Lee Jubilee update. Like now we are not going to have all the if Hasbro give us Beast this year, which we're confident they will. We're going to have all of the sort of first appearance in the animated show looks, like all the main looks, all the main Jim Lee looks, apart from Jubilee, because we're going to have second outfit Jubilee. Like, come on, what's going on? This is the one they should have gave us first, and then shove this in a 2-pack or, I don't know, something else down the line. But this is the one we wanted. We've got a cel-shaded version of this and then an old version of this as well.
Yeah, it's on my shelf behind me, the cel-shaded version. I've lost the glasses.
Single jointed elbows. Jay's got no glasses.
She don't stand up again. No one falls over for me. You're stand.
I've been 3D printing stands for all the Marvel Legend females with pins because these pinned legs just warp over time. So like she could have done
that. VHS wave was definitely a regret of my Marvel purchasing because we got half a team in it. Half of them don't stand up or have weird articulation. Shell shading. Why did I buy that?
All my cel shaded versions are there on a shelf because I'm like, where can they go? Like they can't go in my other display. So
like Apocalypse was good, but now they've made that much better. So that doesn't even hold up to the other one. So literally. Morph's head is probably the best thing from that whole wave.
That is all my VHS figures. I guess Apocalypse wasn't VHS, but he's based on his animated colours. So yeah, all my VHS figures are just there. And Spider-Man wasn't in the VHS; he was on the retro card, but he is cel shaded, and he did appear in the animated. They did appear together, so it was fair game. But I'm with you, Jay. I don't care for the animated. This was before X-Men '97, though, so I don't. It's not really. I don't blame Hasbro because Hasbro were trying something different without even knowing they could do the X-Men '97 stuff. Do you know, like so? Again, not mad at them doing it, but in hindsight, if they knew they were going to get the X-Men '97 stuff, they probably would have backed away from the cel-shaded stuff for a while. But anyway, I think we all. Does anybody literally question to anybody here tonight live on YouTube? Did anybody, just one person, actually want the second version of Jubilee more than the regular version, the Jim Lee version? So Is there anyone out there that was actually happy that in wave 3 we got the black suit Jubilee over the regular version? Is there anybody, or did everybody prefer Jim Lee? I'm just curious, like, because someone made that decision behind the scenes.
There is, as everybody gets their answers in the chat, there is one man I know that will be, and his name is Compulsive Collector. But apart from our good friend John, who likes the exact opposite of everything, I can't see there being one. But I know John was definitely into his Vampire Jubilee.
I'm not sure if he just leans into that to just to wind Rich up. But yeah, so look, John said, John Al in the chat says no. Cloud says nope, classic all the way. McMattison says nope. Ernest says nope, not really. Jamie says classic is the only answer. Quinn said wanted original, disappointed in the one we got. Arvin also says classic. So this may be another situation where it's not Hasbro. Like, we blame Hasbro. Like, boo, Hasbro making the wrong decision. But Hasbro could have been told by Disney, by Marvel, make this version. Do you know, like, we don't know.
Yeah.
So
I think that's definitely a thing with the licensor, because we've all been blaming our good friend Todd McFarlane for years for jokerizing everything, and then Mattel come out and what do they show straight away? Already a jokerized figure. So clearly there's a thing from DC saying, get your Batman Who Laughs stuff out there.
Oh, all that jokerized stuff are just accessories in Joker.
Yeah.
So that jokerized it isn't a jokerized Batman. It's just a jokerized Batman head as an accessory with Joker.
There is a purple one. There's a separate purple Batman, which is like the original version of
That's
Batman.
The kids line anyway. It's the kids line.
Yeah,
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
But yeah, to the point though, yeah, there is always the mandate from the actual licensor themselves, isn't there, where they actually want us to, where they want people to go. So
Ant989, welcome, Ant, welcome. He says, "Where's Beast?" That's what we've been asking, Ant. Go back. We've already spoke about Beast. Rewind the show. Watch it on the replay, because we've already complained about Beast. Where the hell is Beast? He is the first person we spoke about. I'm not going to go over it again because people are bored of hearing me talk about Beast. But he will happen in 2026. Mark my words. Right, next up, let's get into the 2-pack category. So, what 2-packs did we get last year, Jay? We got 2-packs that have all of the variant, all of their variant sort of end of season costumes in. Again, all nods and tributes to the comics.
Plus some starting lineup.
Yeah, plus some starting lineup, yes. Okay, yeah, ignore that 2-pack. Okay, 2 of the 2-packs with Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. Hang on, I should have an image here from the show, shouldn't I? Let me get some actual context.
When they all go to classic costumes.
Yes.
And sort of 70s and 80s costumes,
yes.
isn't it?
So
they go into.
Here's a scene, right? So here's a scene from the end of season 1, right? So who do we have in figure form? We've got the 2-pack of Cyclops and Jean Grey, both in those look. In the background back there, we've got both Jubilee and Sunspot in wave 3 in those looks. We've got Nightcrawler, he doesn't really change his outfit. We've got Storm, she came in a 2-pack with Wolverine. So the 2 figures at the end of the season who are in different outfits, Morph and Rogue. So why not put Morph and Rogue in a bloody 2-pack? Who would you not buy that 2-pack?
No, I don't like Morph's outfit. I really don't like Morph's outfit. It doesn't do anything for me, the outfit with the weird shoulder pad. It looks like a skinny Wolverine with dodgy shoulder pads. So I was like, I don't like the outfit. And that Rogue is literally the Rogue we already have in the comic book version. Right? It looks identical, doesn't it? Yeah, literally identical to the one we have. So would I go on a separate shelf? Yes, I probably end up would buying it. I know what I'm like, but that's me. But it would be nice to complete a team. But are they going to wear that in season 2? Are they going to do a full Tom Holland Spider-Man outfit on this? He wears something at the end of the film, and suddenly he's in a completely different outfit by the next film.
Yeah, maybe so, it is just the end of the season, and then in the start of season 2, they're just all in different. Because I do think that's going to be the case at the end of season. At the end of season 1, we got all of these new looks, but at the start of season 2, they're all scattered across time. They're all in their own timelines, and they're all going to have more variant costumes. So yeah, the boat may have sailed on this, but again, that's what this topic is about. What characters or costume designs did we not get that were represented in season 1? And if you're trying to complete teams and you want to complete the team from the start of the show and at the end of the show, then you sort of need those versions of Rogue and Morph. So again, maybe not a popular 2-pack, but a 2-pack that would give collectors the option for sure. Z-Man says pass.
A completionist 2-pack, yeah.
Yeah, Z-Man says pass, but Z-Man thinks Marvel Legends are overrated, and he's not in the Legends game, so his opinion is mute when it comes to Legends. I'm only joking, Z-Man.
He's been cancelled. He's been cancelled there as Z-Man. He's also a massive fan of McFarlane Mortal Kombat, which is Dan's favourite topic.
Taste some sick in my mouth just talking about it. Okay, so before we move on, in regards to more 2-packs, I do want to just bring up that variant version of Jubilee that Cute Court is referring to, as I forgot to bring it up while we were talking about Jubilee, but I had a graphic ready. Do you remember this, Jay?
Is that something she had in the Mojo episode?
Yeah. This is like a digital variant of Jubilee.
It's an interesting costume.
Yeah, it's like this under the helmet. It was meant to be a big reveal in the episode where this character was helping Jubilee and Sunspot through all the different levels, and then at the end it was revealed that it was like it looked like a future version of Jubilee, but it was like a digitalized variant of Jubilee that Mojo had created to sim these games on or something like that. How do you pronounce her name? Can you read what Cute Court put?
Abiska?
Yeah, Abiska. I think that's it. Yeah, Abiska. Yeah, no, I think that is it. Abiska. But yeah, it's Jubilee with some fiery rollerblades and a spiky helmet. Can you name the 2 Marvel Legends in our collection with rollerblades?
Yes, I can do one. So we got our Iron Man. We have an Iron Man on the Secret Wars card with rollerblades.
There is another Marvel Legend. Same question to the chat then. Let's play this game. There is another Marvel Legend with rollerblades. Not inline skates like these, actual rollerblades.
Oh, it's the X-Men. It's Dazzler. Oh, we've said it.
You've ruined it for the chat. I'm sure the chat got it now. I'm sure the chat got it.
There they got it.
I'm sure they got it.
I was doing her effect with the twirling piece. She's got a little microphone that I keep bloody losing and a pair of roller skates. But she's got the forward. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's Dazzler. Dazzler and Iron Man are the 2 Marvel Legends rollerblades. Well, we could have had a third if they gave us this version of Jubilee. So yeah, shout out Cute Court. Rich, if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments, would you buy this version of Jubilee, or would it be required to come with an unmasked Jubilee head? Or would you still buy this because you know it's Jubilee? Rich, I want to know, all right? Rich, let me know after the fact in the replay, in the comments. Would you still buy this, or does it need the unmasked Jubilee head? I'm curious. Right, let's go back to my 2-packs, all right? So let me just jump forward in my own timeline to see what I'm talking about next, because I did just grab a couple of 2-packs here, and I'm not too sure which order they go in. Let me refresh and have a look, because I'm staying with the 2-pack category just for a minute. I'm just shoving a few character designs together for the sake of conversation. All right. So, what civilian character did we get in Wave 3 of X-Men '97?
Civilian character in Wave 3 of X-Men '97. I can sort the back of the package in there. Logan.
Yes, it was Logan. So, in the sort of the love triangle of the X-Men, sort of, who were the other 2 characters? Would you say?
So we've got a Jean and a Cyclops, have we? Where are you going? You got Jean. That's a casual Jean and Cyclops.
So Cyclops wearing his jacket.
Or is that Madeline? Where are we going?
Could be. That's up for interpretation, I suppose. Would this would this have any interest from collectors? A civilian version of Cyclops?
I'm going to make a maybe controversial statement here, but your 2-packs are worse than Hasbro's ones so far. What are these? What are we going to do with this?
I have been repeating myself during this stream that this is for the sake of conversation, and I am neither saying they are a good idea. I am not saying they are things I want. I just thought, for the sake of conversation, let's bring some of these things to the forefront. So yeah, civilian versions.
A nice army builder pack here for a crowd for your wrestling figure display, you could have these, and these would be general civilians with different heads on across your Marvel Legends city that you're world building. So yeah, I've changed my mind. What a fantastic pack.
People always are asking for like civilian versions of characters and stuff. So if we've got a civilian version of Wolverine on the shelf, you don't want just one civilian version, do you? You want a couple of civilian versions of characters to accompany him. So I thought, well, who are the two that make the most sense? And I think for me, it's Cyclops and Jean. So if you're going to have just a little trio of civilians, Wolverine, we've got Wolverine as Logan, now Cyclops.
Do you know what I want the civilian versions of? Power Rangers. Lightning Collection should have given us Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in civilian version.
It's all over. It's all over.
Let's bring it back just for civilian versions.
I'm with you, Jim. I'm with you, but I've had to let it go. I've had to let it go. Me, Justin, are still clinging on to the Lightning Collection hope, but it's dead. It's gone. Hasbro fucked it up. They ruined it. Now you're stuck with Playmates. Do you know what, though? I did actually buy this, Jay. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why, Jay. I was like,
a flip head.
I just needed a representation.
You could do it in the packaging. There you go. Get that.
I just thought I'd get one just to sort of tribute the like. Okay, this is what it is. Let me just get one to see what it's like. So there you go. I got Zach. But anyway,
very nice.
Back to civilians. See, Andrew wants it. Dave says yes, please on this 2-pack. Civilian Jean doubles and Madeline. Prophet says I agree. Craig just says no, but I don't know what Craig says no to. He could be talking to himself. I have no idea. Ernie says, if Jean's head sculpt is better than the ones we got, I would get it. Well, all the other Jean head sculpts have her like head sock on, don't they? So this would be a proper unmasked.
It wouldn't be the first time we've had an apology Jean head in the Marvel Legends line, would it?
That's very true. We did get those Phoenix heads. Which I've still got available, £300. Civilian line with Civilian Peter would be nice. Look, I'm in. Compulsive Collector says, I'll take both of these just for the swapped head swap civilians. See, I told you, Jay, there is a potential with the civilian looks.
That is the man that also would want the Vampire Jubilee over the regular Jubilee.
Oh, yeah.
And he was on his own, we believe, in that category. It was from the previous survey.
On today's stream, you've been on your own in a few categories as well, to be fair. So you need to team up with John.
Yeah, we have a.
Okay, let me go to the next picture. Let me make sure it's the right picture next. Okay, so I'm going to go for another 2-pack, right? So
Sorry.
We've got Rogue and Jubilee, not Rogue and Jubilee, sorry, Gambit and Rogue again, right? Gambit and Rogue, right? So we've already got them in their basketball uniforms, right?
You see.
Do you reckon this 2-pack that I'm about to reveal would be more popular than the basketball version?
Well, let's hope it's what I actually want, and I said many years ago on this channel. Let's hope this is a white suit Gambit, and yeah, there we are. Yeah. It is. There we go. Yes.
Yeah. So
white suit Gambit has been on my list and very high on it since the show comes out, so I would buy this 2-pack. You've redeemed yourself.
For the record, I don't think they would ever do it in this 2-pack form. I just threw Rogue in because why not? Rogue and Gambit. I think we're going to get a white outfit Gambit. Apparently, it was spoken about. Like I think Ryan Ting spoke about that on a live stream somewhere where white suit Gambit was discussed for a line before they switched. So it was an idea that was out there. So maybe it will come back on the table and we will get a white suited Gambit. Remember Me, like one of the biggest moments from the first season. We can pay tribute to that in the Marvel Legends line. I don't necessarily think Rogue in her sort of ball gown is essential, but it would be a nice little complementary piece to Gambit. But again, the Rogue was just an additional pack in to pair the two together. But I do think white suited or white tuxedo Gambit would be truly appreciated from the community because yeah, it's from that moment. It's all about recreating those moments in our shelf, in our collection. Off the Shelf says yes, 100%. Prophet says heck yes. I need this. Give us Gambit with the bike. Yeah, maybe replace that Rogue and put him with a bike and call it like a Rider's Wave situation here. Chi Chi says how yes to this 2-pack. Prophet says Mr. and Mrs. X. Your boy's got toy says still technically correct. Still no figure has rollerblades trademark. He's still going on about that. I've been ignoring his comments, but he's arguing with himself that I called them. They all had the same rollerblades. Basically, that Jubilee had inline skates. She had rollerblades.
Yes.
The Dazzler and Iron Man had roller skates. he
roller
got us on a,
skates, to be
he
called
got
in the
us,
UK.
yeah, he got us on a
that's not-
technicality. He's not wrong. I just chose to ignore the fact that he was right. You know, I just didn't want to acknowledge that he was right and he had caught us out on a technicality. All right, I thought he would let it slide, Jay. I thought he would get it. I thought he would let it slide, just like roller skates do, slide. But no, he keeps bringing it up and he's still arguing with himself in the chat. I would get Gambit. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer a rogue or a bike?
I think I prefer Rogue. The bike's gonna be a bit of a struggle to fit in. So I think that's a nice little look for Rogue. We haven't got a Marvel Legend again. It could be a nice little custom. You could use like ball gown. So I think we've got enough bikes. We need a ball gown.
I've recently like sort of cut a lot of the Riders Wave figures from display because like when Riders Wave like bikes and vehicles take up a lot of space, and some of the figures we've got in Riders Wave are not as iconic for me. Like with Ghost Rider, you need his bike. That's a true representation of Ghost Rider. You need him and his bike. But did I need Frank Castle on a bike? Did I need Black Widow on a bike? Did I need Logan Wolverine on a bike?
Got Cap on the.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've cut. Well, these have all been cut from my display.
I gave Cap's bike to the MCU Cap. He's in that bike.
Yeah, that's more interesting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because the World War II Cap.
Original World War II Cap. Yeah, I put the MCU version on it. So.
Oh, Alexis said he's talking to Rush. Okay, so he was arguing with somebody. It's all right. I acknowledged you. You were right. You were right on a technicality. So yeah,
he does speak for the people.
Yeah, he does speak for the people. Don't ever forget that Alexi. Who was that who called Alexi out and like was an idiot about it? So we just leaned into
was in
it.
The chat, wasn't it? Yeah,
I can't remember. Someone in the chat was mad at Alexi, so we were like just leaned into it and go, yeah, Alexi speaks for everyone. That was funny. Okay, so White Gambit I think is going to happen. Let me go through if I missed any out. So yeah, I think that's not the end of the show. That's the end of my little gallery there, Jay. Did any glaring gaps come to your head in regards to those characters? Who's missing that we didn't discuss?
There's two that come to mind that we haven't discussed. One is one I've always found fun would be Magneto in his pants because he's in his pants quite a lot towards the end there.
Somewhere David Evan Smith just woke up.
Yeah, he's having a lovely time as our friend David Evan Smith there. Some great customs you could get out of a decent articulated
he must have already customized that
body. But I'm sure he has. But the main one you have not covered at the very, very last episode, at the very end of the last episode, is when they get sent back in time. They see En Sabanor, the original version of like the Egyptian apocalypse. That's what I actually do generally really want within the X-Men 97 line, is like, because we've not had that version in Marvel Legends before. So I think that would be great as a counterpiece to go with the full version we're getting from the Made to Order apocalypse, is that Egyptian proper earlier version of him.
The reason I didn't include I sort of in my head, although when they went off into their split timelines, in my head that set up, because we only seen glimpses, didn't we? So in my head that set up for season 2. So I ignored all of them because in my head they're going to be more predominant for season 2. Where today I was more focused on what were we missing from season 1, if you know what I mean. So I don't disagree. That'd be a great Marvel Legend, but I'm assuming that will play more of a part in season 2 than it did season 1. What about a box set?
Hopefully it does, yeah.
Just to wrap up as a box set, Jay. Just a box set of the rest. Just everyone else we need. Pregnant Madeline Pryor in a referee's outfit. And just everybody else. Just a multi-pack.
Well, it's a different variation of beast. That could be the beast you're getting there. So you don't wish this into the world.
Don't
because
do that,
if this you could have you've put it on the screen.
No, you put it into the universe. I never actually thought they'd make that version of Beast.
Well, now your little jokey segment here has backfired. I've put it into the world, and basketball box set is the way you get Beast. So I'm very sorry about that.
That'd be the worst way to release Beast.
Yeah.
With his
we brought it back round to our death conversation of earlier and living in the moment. So there we are. So we've gone full circle now on the stream.
Let me go to the chat.
Filled all his enthusiasm.
My poll, it was 57% say Beast. So who do we need more in the X-Men 97 collection? 57% say Beast and 36 say Bastion. So if I go back to the chat Again, it won't let me bring up the poll like it usually does. It's at the bottom of the page for some reason.
Your
Look,
poll
it's
won't
down
come
there,
up.
look.
My entire
Down
Google
there,
has
look.
thrown me out. So
Just need to
technical issues tonight.
I needed to show people on the replay if you're not watching live. There you go. That's what the poll ended up with 144 votes. I don't think 6 more is going to change it for Beast. I think he is your winner. 7% did want the basketball uniform. So I'm ending the poll.
7%.
Beast is our most wanted Marvel legend to round out season 1. Again, if you're going to get one more from season 1, Beast, surely. Bastion's a close second, I'll give you that. But Beast, come on now, come on. Queen Comics wants a pregnant Jean for Wave 4. Yeah, any more suggestions from the chat before we wrap up here? Like, were there any? What were your favourite picks? What characters did we miss, if any? Were there any glaring gaps there, or any different costumes that I didn't mention in today's stream?
The only ones you haven't mentioned is they were the cameo kind of things, wasn't it? As you said, you were ignoring those, but yeah.
Like you said, the word significant. I tried to avoid any cameos because they're just cameos. They're not significant characters to the story. And I avoided everything that was set up for season 2, which is why I didn't include that Apocalypse. But you're absolutely right. That would be a great figure and something we don't have represented in the collection. But in my head, that was set up for season 2. And this conversation was more about what was missing as a true significant representation of season 1. And for me, it's Beast and Bastion. Yes, we need Jim Lee Jubilee, but at least we have a Jubilee. If we've got to, again, I know no one wanted that version of Jubilee, but at least we have a physical Jubilee from the show. We don't yet have a physical Beast or Bastion from the show. So it would have to be Beast, Jubilee, Beast, Bastion, Professor X with the accurate hover chair. I think for me, they'd all be on the podium. What about you, Jay? If you had three more figures missing from season 1?
From season 1, if I'm going to ignore the N7 or Apocalypse, because that's going to be season 2.
Yeah, that's set up for season 2.
I would go. I want a Warlord version of Professor X.
Oh, nice, yeah.
In the gold, I think he's missing. I think we do need Sunspot in the civilian outfit because he was just wearing that much more in season 1. And then I suppose I better take Beast as well. Otherwise I'll be thrown off all co-host duties.
You can still be the co-host. Absolutely, you can. Of course you can. I was never hesitating about kicking you off right then. Not at all. Not at all. Just looking at the chat real quick. Kevin Beatty's sad that only 7% voted for the basketball suits. Justin says we really need another Wolverine. He's not wrong. We are running low on Marvel Legend Wolverines. I wish we had some more out there.
That was the last thing I said on Instagram before it threw me out. I said in my story, I was like, time for another Wolverine then. Boom. Yeah. Booted off.
Wait, there wasn't another version of Wolverine from the show they could give us, right? We've got civilian Logan. We've got regular black and yellow. Black and... not
to make a stripy one.
Yeah, stripy. And then we've got the brown suit.
The brown suit.
So you could have the adamantium sort of ripped off version.
Because Magneto sucks it all off.
But is there any other suits that you wear?
That's not said that very well. Yeah.
Magneto sucks him off at the end, does he? I didn't see that episode, Jay. Did not see that part of the show. Jay was watching a dodgy streamed version of that. Magneto in his pants and someone was getting sucked off. What were you watching? Triple X-Men. Triple X-Men 97 there, yeah.
Triple X-Men 97, my goodness me.
Matthew May says, I'm hoping for the battle-damaged Wolverine look, which is what we've just referenced, when he was fighting alongside Nightcrawler in the X-Mansion. Oh no, that was slightly different. That was when Nightcrawler had all 3 of his swords whipping around, wasn't it? I think Jay downloaded the wrong X-Men yet. We've figured that out together for sure. Show is in the gutter.
This isn't even. It's not even the after show yet. So wait till the after show comes on. Where
look, we unlocked the after show,
which is public this evening.
We unlocked the after show last week. Last week, I think we had another hour. Did we have another hour conversation? And it wasn't unlocked. I can't remember.
You did, I think, because I watched it with my dinner.
Yeah, look, every after show that doesn't get unlocked, right? We go for like an extra hour, like there's extra hours of content that people don't see, and then the ones that are not unlocked, we only have little conversations. Look, last week, the last week's after show was 1 hour and 18 minutes. It was only 10 minutes or 17 minutes shorter than our main show. Like, and that last after show didn't even get unlocked. People, you should become a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier and you get bonus content every single week without fail. But today's will be public thanks to the generosity of the chat. Thank you so much, everyone who always contributes with your comments. It is always very much appreciated. I think Kenny's going live tonight as well. So you get the after show and then you can go and watch Encounter Culture later this evening. With some good co-hosts and some terrible co-hosts. I'll let you decide who's who there. Jay, you're a good co-host though, especially considering Beast was on your list there as top 3. You stay in the good co-host category for now. Tell the good people where they can find you online.
You can find me online right here on YouTube at Jay's Toy Collection UK. I don't think I've uploaded a video in a whole week since last week's video, so it's been about a week. So I'll try and do some more content next week. And I'm still trying to unlock some very large action figure thing, which hopefully I can get to this weekend, and then I can finally have a reveal.
I look forward to seeing the reveal. I'm planning on doing a bonus show. I was thinking of doing an Inner Circle tomorrow, but Inner Circle requires a bit more prep with games and stuff that I haven't got time to do and I have not prepared. So the bonus show may end up being an unboxing on Saturday instead. I'm free on Saturday. I'm not reviewing anything in particular at the minute because I don't tell blockies, but I cannot be asked to build and review blockies. I just don't care. I just don't care, Jay. Maybe I will if I get bored, but I very rarely get bored. So yeah, maybe an unboxing stream on Saturday is what I'm going to do instead of an Inner Circle. I don't want to do an Inner Circle half-assed stage. You know, like an Inner Circle, I want to have planned games and it'd be fun rather than me going, what am I doing? Craig says he's got something planned, but he's not brought anything to the table. He's not showed me anything or anything. So like, right. I've got no confidence in it.
You got less than 24 hours, Craig, to come up with something here. I've got the free. Kiara's going out tomorrow night, so I've got a free night.
Yeah, maybe I'll possibly maybe if someone wants to be a games host tomorrow night, maybe I can do an Inner Circle. But I have nothing prepared. So if someone else wants to play the games, then maybe. But yeah, anyway, I'll be around. Hit that fucking subscribe button. Hit that notification bell, and you genuinely will be notified when I go live. Because even I don't know when I'm going live. But I will be doing the after show right now, so you can follow us over there. Let me just put the link into the chat before I forget, and I also need to make the show public before we get off the stream. Jay, have you got anything to say while I make this public? You've got a minute of airtime to fill for me.
A minute of time to fill. Well, firstly, I would like to apologise for my pornographic comments this evening because I clearly have watched the wrong version of X-Men 97, so Disney would not be very happy with me. But I'll give you a clue about what you're seeing. Half an empty shelf here. So you can see 3 empty shelves over there because they are about to be filled. I've got some bags here with one of Dan's actual favourite lines that's coming down from upstairs. It's not Toy Story.
I was going to say,
of course, it is. It's McFarlane DC, so we're going to have 3 shelves of that and the backdrop of the stream just for Dan's pure entertainment. Then we've covered Legends, we've covered wrestling, and we've covered McFarlane toys. So what else could I do for a display down here? And of course, as Justin says, I should have done the full Andrew there. When he said Jay entertain the chat, I should have just gone.
The bonus show is I've pinned it and it should now be public as well, so everybody can follow us over to the bonus show, and we're going to invite on some channel members to talk about who would be in there if they were doing an X-Men wave but based off season 1. What would it be? So yeah, that's what we'll discuss. Yeah, and Alexi's comment on Kenny's stream last week was gone unnoticed, but I appreciate it. He called the new version of Lobo the Super Saiyan Lobo because his hair's all crazy, and it made me chuckle. But everyone on the show just glanced past it, and I was like, that deserved a chuckle there. It's some acknowledgement for Super Saiyan Lobo there. But yes,
I've started to watch Dragon Ball. It's very weird.
Yeah, I don't need to watch Yellow Pajama Guy. I need to watch Daredevil. That's what I need to watch. But before I do that, I'm going over to the after show. Jay, always a pleasure. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. I will be going live again at some point this weekend. Become a part of it. Be a channel member. And then you just become a channel member, right? So much extra content. There really is. Go and check it all out. Be a part of the community that we're building here. And we will be back next week. And Jay, just a little prayer with me, please, before we finish here. Please, for the love of the toy world, give us some Marvel Legends fucking news, all right? We've been talking about nothing all March. Give us some Marvel Legend news, all right? An actual reveal would be nice. Mr. Dan Yoon, Marvel Legend reveal. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Go and check out one of these videos on the channel, and maybe, I don't even know what they're going to be. I'll probably put, what's my last Marvel Legend review? It was Diamond Formed Emma Frost, right? I'm going to put that there, and I'll put something else over there. But always a pleasure. Become a channel member, and then you can watch the bonus show, even though we're not live, all right? Who Crew Deluxe. Bye-bye.